Good afternoon, this is Dennis Miracle. Today I'm going to be making what I'm calling leaves in the middle wristlet. And you're going to need two pieces of, I would suggest vinyl, promo vinyl if possible, which are these two purple pieces. If you can do applique or you can omit applique. You could just do the lovely designs right on the vinyl, or you can do it on the fabric. I'm going to do it on a piece of fabric. So these pieces are 2 inches by a foot long. So you need, if you're going to do it with applique, one piece of fabric 2 by 12, and in any event you need 2 pieces of vinyl that are 2 by 12. So I have run, there are 7 steps to this. I have run step number 1, as is my custom, and you can see it's just an outline of the wristlet. The wristlet is approximately 10.1 inches long, and it's about just slightly over 1¼ inches wide. So anyhow, I've done number 1. Step number 1, which as I said is the outline of the wristlet. I'm going to take my first piece of vinyl that's going to serve as the base and place it over this. Well, it actually fits just perfectly in the hoop, and make sure it's on both sides. It's fine. Okay, let me tape this down. Up at the top and up at the bottom. Excuse me. Let me put this now in the machine, and it will basically, it'll just tack it down, sew it down. It'll go over the same stitches it did for step number 1. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and you can see that this has in fact been sewn down to my paper towel stabilizer. Now, step number 3 is going to be the placement line for the applique. So let me run that. Okay, and of course the applique line is just slightly, ever so slightly inside of the exterior line. So let me put my fabric that's going to serve as the applique fabric, place that down, and let me tape it because I don't want it shifting during this, which of course it will if I don't tape it. All right, let me put it back in the machine, and then it will be sewn down. So be right back. Excuse me. All right, you can see that the piece of fabric has been sewn down. If you were not going to bother with doing applique and just put the design directly on the vinyl, you could have, of course, skipped these last 2 steps, steps 3 and 4, but I wanted to show the applique. So now I'm going to take my better scissors over here, these here, and I'm going to trim it all around. So let me stop the camera for a moment while I do my trimming. Sorry, I'm starting everything I speak, time to speak, with a cough. So now you can see, and these are irritating, but always happen. Now you see that I have done the trimming, and got all these little pieces here. So the next step will be the actual pretty design itself. So I'll put it back in the machine, and the design will start. So I'll be back momentarily. Thank you. Okay, now the applique is done, and next thing we'll be doing the satin stitch around the sides to get rid of this ugly raw edge. So if you were not going to do the applique, you would have done steps 1, 2, skipped 3 and 4, and done 5, which was the design that we just did, and 6 and 7. So you would have just skipped 3 and 4 if you were going to sew directly on the vinyl and omit applique, but I'm going to put this back in and let it do the satin stitching, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, step number 6, the design itself has been completed, or I'm sorry, that was the satin stitches that have been completed. So now we're going to turn the design over to the back of the hoop and take our remaining piece of vinyl we have and put it face up over the design. And we're going to take and tape it down well, hopefully. And we're going to put in the machine, and it's going to do a bean stitch around slightly exterior of this line here, and that'll hold the pieces well together so they don't come apart. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, the design is finished. I'm going to unhoop this. Put that aside. So we have it here. I'm going to take my, I don't know what this is. I've had it for years. Actually, it's called the Quilter's Slide Lock. But any see-through ruler will do, plastic ruler will do. And I'm taking my rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut on all 4 sides. Just a 1/16 or 32nd from the stitching that is already there, and hopefully not cutting into the stitching, although I have done that many times with these applique wristlets. So let me go to the cutting table and try to get that done. I'll be right back. All right, it's now cut, and you see it looks pretty on the back side, pretty on the front side, and I'm going to take it now and bend it in 2, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch just on the very inside here, so it'll be held together when I put it in the key fob, because it will wiggle once you try to put in the key fob if you don't put these 2 ends together. A lady friend told me that she uses like Gorilla Glue or that type of glue on it to glue them together so they don't move, but I don't want to use any extra chemicals if I don't have to, so I'm going to sew it, which is what I've always done. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have sewn it together. I need to get rid of some of these so they don't show. Okay, all right, they'll be hidden. And so I've got a key fob, excuse me, a little metal key fob that it'll fit right on. It's a little larger than the key fob. This is a 1-inch metal fob. They do make a 1 1/4. I think that would work better, but this is all I have. So, but you can also, as I've done in this one, and I can't recall what these are, grommets maybe? Little grommets, and they will work also, but like you see, it's like halfway coming off on this side. It didn't go through well enough, so they're kind of hit or miss, at least for me. I've never been good at putting those on, but I'm going to take now my special, this device here, like a set of pliers that are just made. They've got plastic on the ends, and I think these are about the plastic here. I think these are $8 or $9, $10 on Amazon, specially made for putting on these key fobs so they don't scar the metal. That's why the plastic's on there. So let me see if I can actually do this right. Well, I'm not starting out too good, am I? Okay. too good. Squeeze. All right. Okay. All right. There that is. And that won't come off, I don't think. And they are sewn together at the ends anyhow. So there you have it. And I think it looks very nice. So anyhow, I hope you've enjoyed watching my little video of making the key fob applique with applique. Like I say, you can do it without, but with applique. And someone suggested these are hearts. They were supposed to be leaves, but I think I'm going to call this maybe Trail of Hearts or something hearts instead of leaves in the middle, but I'll decide that shortly. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching with me. I hope you've enjoyed my little demonstration, and I want to thank all of you for being with me and always giving me encouragement to make something else. And I love to make things of beauty, and sometimes I fail, sometimes I do well, but that's life. Anyhow, once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you. There will be a purse also that matches this motif, these leaves or hearts, whatever you want to call it. It'll be coming out in the next day or so, so I'll be back then to demo the purse, and I thank you so much. Bye-bye.